Shalom, friends. My name is Jephthah ben Gilead of the tribe of Manasseh, and I'm here to tell you about a very special woman of Israel, my daughter. We Israelites live in very uncertain times. Ever since Joshua died, there have been no leader of the 12 tribes. Some tribes have had local judges which led them, while other tribes have no leadership. These are very dark days because we have not been following the tradition of Moses and honoring the Sabbath year. Since we are not hearing the Torah of Moses read every 7th year, the tribal elders do not always make the best decisions, and God has allowed our enemy to defeat us. I cherish my daughter well because I have not had much of a family. I was born to a prostitute, but my father did not deny me. He raised me as his own son and eventually married and had other sons. I remember my father teaching me about the history of our people and how we came to live in this land. After my father's death, however, my half-brothers kicked me out. I fled to Tab in the land of Aram, and I learned to live as an outlaw in that pagan land, forming a gang and supporting myself through marauding against the pagans. After the death of Jair, who followed Gideon as judge of my tribe, they began following the ways of the pagans, and as judgment, Yahweh allowed the Ammonites to become successful in raiding my tribal lands and our neighboring tribes as well, but especially in my hometown, Gilead. My brothers, now the elders of the city, sent for me to lead them in battle against their enemy. Although my pagan warriors had been a better family to me than my half-brothers had ever been, my wife and daughter had brought healing to my heart, and I realized that I did not need a gang nor my half-brothers to have a fulfilling life. I wanted to return to my people and serve Yahweh, and so I agreed to lead them under the condition that I would become their judge, and I was given land in Mizpah. I made a vow to Yahweh that if he would grant me victory over the Ammonites to free my people, then I would dedicate to him the first thing that came out of my doors, and that I would even offer it as a burnt offering, assuming it wasn't a dog or camel or servant or some other entity inappropriate for sacrifice. Yahweh granted me a great victory, but when I came home, my beautiful, faithful daughter was the first to welcome me home. She was always obedient, loving, and submissive, and she was my most prized treasure. When I told her of my vow to Yahweh, she did not blame me, nor demand that I break my vow to Yahweh. Rather, she understood and declared that it was only right for me to obey my vow to Yahweh, who had given me the great victory. She only asked that she be given 2 months to mourn with her girlfriends, that she was to remain a virgin for the rest of her life. Because of her willing submission to be dedicated to Yahweh for the rest of her life, she is commemorated every year by the daughters of Israel for 4 days. I wish that I had asked the priest about the situation, because I found out later that I could have redeemed my daughter from my vow, for 30 shekels. Although that is an expensive price, I would have found a way to obtain it so that my daughter could have children. Well, it's getting late. May you all have daughters who are as devoted to their father as mine is. Before I go, I just want to leave you with the ancient blessing of my hometown. May Yahweh watch between us when we are absent from one another. Shalom, good friends.